Hey, everybody, welcome to Empowerment Sessions with yours truly, Philip Suber. Now, this podcast is meant to empower the authentic version of you to impact the world around you like only you can. So, before we get into our conversation, if you haven't already, please take a moment and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and also share with someone that you know. All right, ready? Let's go. Hey, family, this is Pastor Phil, and welcome back. So, we're having this conversation about affirmations, and I really think that this is something that's important. Um, as I stated before, identity is everything, and knowing your identity is crucial, especially in a day where we live. Well, let me say it like this: everything is volatile, everything changes, but it's important that we understand who we are so that we can stand, live, abide, abode, exist and live intentionally in the understanding and the cognitive awareness of who we are. And sometimes we need those reminders of who we are. And sometimes situations will remind you. You thought that you were that your existence was dependent upon someone else, or a certain situation, or a certain income, or a certain title. And sometimes situations will come in your life to remind you that those things are not the essence of who you are. They're just external compartments of who you are, but they are not the definition of who you are. And so, thus, the series of I Am. I want to take a moment to just um, finish off on the essentialness of understanding the beginning of that statement. I am. You know, every affirmation begins and it is built upon a truth that is already established, right? We're affirming something. We're not creating something that is new. We're not trying to create something mystically out of the air. We're not calling something that doesn't exist. No, we're speaking and we're declaring these statements concerning who we are in our existence because they are true and they're based on truth. So we begin by saying, I am. You know, there are certain things that only the living can do. You're living, you're breathing, you're abiding, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the circumstances. Yes, things may be rough, things may be tough, things may be great, things may be over the top, over the hills, and maybe next level for you. You may find yourself moving in a state of constant progression. But whatever you are, I do want you to understand that you are, that you're existing. So say this with me: I am. I am. Close your eyes when you say it and just really let that marinate into your consciousness that I am. I am. Because many times we focus on what we're not and what we don't have. But when you really take into consideration the now that you are existing, you are living, you are here, you are a living being. You're breathing with the ability to make decisions. You have a consciousness, you have a heart, you are. And the other things that you may be immediately thinking, yes, but I'm heartbroken, that's temporary. Yes, but I'm hurting, that's temporary. Yes, but I feel like a failure, those feelings are temporary. Yes, but I messed up. That's the past. It's not the current who you are. It's all about the fact that you understand that because I am, that opens the doors for opportunities to become. It opens the opportunity and the doors for change. The fact that you exist. You see, when we look at the cemeteries and we see on the gravestones that there is a beginning and an ending date, and there is a dash that is in between. And the significance of the life that we live and the life that will be spoken of whenever our ending date comes is dependent upon us focusing and honing in and maximizing the dash in between. So we're not looking for another moment. We're not dwelling on past moments, but we're understanding that in this moment, I am. In this moment, I I have the capability to do something. I have my mind. I have the ability to create, to imagine, to dream, to plan, to strategize, to repent, to apologize, to forgive, to heal. I have the ability to reboot, to recharge, to revive, to be restored, and to restore because I am. The moment that you cease to believe in the nowness of the fact that you are is a moment where you strip yourself of the power and the significance of what you can do in the current moment. And hear me out, the current speaks of movement. So you have to constantly remind yourself, I am. And we'll add to it, I am significant. I am creative. I am the voice for now. I am a lover. I am forgiven. I am hopeful. I am a believer. I am restored. I am healed. I am mature. And I am a light in this world of darkness. I am one of God's greatest creations. I am a human. I am unregrettably me. So take that with you and let's get these affirmations down. But with every affirmation, remember, it starts with the truth that you are. And as long as you recognize that you are, you open yourself to the ability to walk in that truth and bring it to manifestation in your life, to change, to grow, to progress, to move forward, to do self-analysis, to search your soul, to mature, to empower, to be enabled, to enable others, to give, to love, to forgive. It begins by understanding that I am. Hey, thanks again for joining me in this discussion today, Empowerment Sessions. I really appreciate and hope that you did take the time to subscribe if you already haven't, and also if you took a moment to share it. If you haven't, you still got time to do it. Now, listen, remember that this podcast is meant to empower the authentic version of you, to impact the world around you like only you can. Now, you can follow me even after the podcast is over on Instagram at empowerment_sessions or at I am Philip Super. And even on Facebook, you can join the empowerment community as well if you follow me on there with Empowerment Sessions page. All right. I look forward to adding you guys to the group and seeing your comments on how this podcast has really impacted you in a positive way. Until next time, remember, it's all about you being empowered to help the next generation.